I hope you're doing well. I am not fine, not live. You should not be complaining. Apparently, TikTok grows, Martha. TikTok grows. I have more than 10K followers now. I don't know where they came from, but I have more than 10K followers. If YouTube grew the way TikTok grows, I think I'd be a millionaire by now. You guys should not wish to have glasses, but Nang. Keeping them clean is also another tug of war. But I hope you guys are doing well. Good morning, Emma. I hope you're doing well. Yeah. So I'm leaving home late. Today I'm leaving home, by the way. I'm going to help one of us here get a car today. I can't tell you which car, but I'm going to help someone get a car today. And yeah, for the first time, I'm going to leave home very late. He did not commit to coming very early in the morning, so I decided it. But I hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to be talking about the sacrifices you should be making for your car. Over the years, driving the cars I've driven, old and the single almost new car that I drove, which was the Vitz, I've learned that there are sacrifices that you should make and there are sacrifices you should not make for your car. Good morning, Joseph. Like, it doesn't matter how much you love your car. You need to draw the line between why you need to draw the line where you stop at which sacrifices you make to actually get a car as a man. Since this is a week of men, now why am I saying as a man? Because for men that have families, for men that have people that depend on them, you have to understand that every decision you make affects your family. Okay, you have to understand that every decision you make affects the people that depend on you, emotionally, psychologically, physiologically, and of course financially. So you need to understand. YouTube changed the interface, the way comments come. So it takes some getting used to. So it's important for us to understand that since the decisions you make in your bid to keep your car healthy, in your bid to keep your car on the road, in your bid to simply keep a car, every decision you make is not only going to affect you and the car, but it's going to affect the people that are around you, that depend on you in different ways, physiologically, financially, emotionally, psychologically. I don't know if it's... so people that depend on you will definitely notice. For example, before you buy a car, remember, we've been talking about which cars you should buy at which stage of your life. We've been talking about how much you should spend on a car depending on your income. We've been talking about, should you buy a car before you build a house? Do you really need a car? We've been talking about which capacity of the engine should you buy. Yeah, we've been talking about a lot of things that help us in decision making of which car we should actually buy. And that was the before. But do you realize that we have not talked about the during, when after you've bought the car you get? So that's the decisions you make for and during having your car. So that's probably something that people never talk about, and it's also a very important stage in your car ownership journey. Something that should be talked about, I think, more often than it's talked about. You see, people talk about what kind of sacrifices you should make for a woman, what kind of sacrifices you should make for a man, but people never talk about what kind of sacrifices you should make for a car. Like, where should you stop? And I know it's very important. You remember the story I told you about a friend of mine who had a Primo. he gave me Nene, good morning, Gaetano. He gave me Nene Takerenwa before I started constructing. And that time I was still living in Kasangati. So he gave me, I think at that time I was driving a Golf. So he gave me his car. Of course, we came together and I drove to this side. And okay, the first time I think I came alone in his Primo. And I realized that this car had some, it was not very healthy. It had a lot of noises down in the suspension. When I went back, I told him, and I told him, good morning, good morning, Joseph. I told him, you know what, and he told me, Arthur, emoroka yo manchenjize, gwe bw'osalawo okuwuliriza ennyo emmotoka, gwe buli kakuba okawulirize, abeeka bayinza obutalya. So for him, he had made it out for himself that if a car moved, that if a car got him to his destination, that if a car did not break down on the road, the car was fine. So he kept it like that. He ignored the noises and he kept moving. Now, what did I learn in his statement? I learned that, of course, these are things that before someone actually tells you, you know beforehand, but you can't really confirm it. You think maybe what I'm doing is wrong, or I should change, or I should do better. But what I learned from his statement was that there are sacrifices you need to not make for the car. There are noises you need to ignore, for example, when you own a car, okay? The noises like the brakes that are, the brake noises that I have in my car. I've ignored that noise. Of course, now it's unbearable. Of course, now I have very good music. So I can put the music and I ignore. I'm the kind that doesn't want to hear the noise because it discomforts me. Good morning, JK. But you see, JK, what he said was true. Sometimes when you look at how much money is coming in and how much money is going out, then you think to yourself, Mfachi, Nzensose. Now, this is the Ugandan perspective, JK. Category. Of course, you live in Twongera Okubajukiza Mutu like button. Thank you very much, Joseph. Like we are 18 people here, so we should have 8 likes. So JK, gwe kati ewa majori net bus zenyini tezikubagana. Ne taxis zenyini ze mutu tezikubagana. Ne train tezikubagana. Fe wano ojja kusanga ne muruka y'omukulembeze w'eggwanga ekubagana. Okitegeera. And there is a time I was talking to mechanics, and a mechanic told me, nze ngendo kebeera omuntu emmotoka. Ne bebeera nga mpya ya bondi nyina ebintu byesigala ntiyinga. Okitegeera. Nze emmoloka ne bweba ya bondi osobola ogivuga ku kikubo ky'ettaka neekubagana because these are used cars. You get. Ate ng'ebiseera ebimu emmoloka zino okukubagana, it's not something that is serious. Of course, it takes you knowing that it's not serious. Thank you for the like, JK. It takes you knowing that it's not. For example, before I knew that these brake sounds are not dangerous, ngabamba ndi ako sente zange ngakawulanga kubagana nga ngenda ngezo bazirya ngabazizika babala okuzizika oba ovuga ngodde waka, they start again. Okitegeere, they start again. Then I said, okay, let me first give myself time and then figure out what the exact problem is, because they failed to actually solve it until my mechanic told me, you know what, I think we should buy new calipers, which I haven't done because one of us here actually bought new calipers on his fielder, I think, and then the noises are still there. So now we have to research, okay, why are these brakes making noises? Okitegeera. Antikati JK, which noises are you talking about in particular? Because personally, I would prefer to drive a car but I've seen cars that are new. Of course, JK, I realize that majority of the time when you're in town, obera chira. you drive around town majority of the time, right? And I'm sure the house you're building is not far. I drive like 7 kilometers of Maram. But also I understand that when a car I also realize that the older the car, you stay in machindi. JK. Ubera machindi kati machindi nange muruka yasebu njivuge machindi teina kakubagana ayayayaya nganjivuza awo mvude ku cave sounds kide chibuyawo. It has nothing, but the noises you hear them mostly when you drive on these basically the Maram roads that have a lot of potholes. And I know every part of my car that makes noises. I'm building in Wachiso, 42 kilometers from Kampala. But I'm thinking that's like a family home for all of you guys. Yeah, that's your mom's house. Wait, what I'm saying is I know every part that is making noises in my car. Which take it, eh? I know everything that is making noises in my car. And I ignore, good morning, Abby. And I ignore those noises because I know they're harmless. You get? But it's still your house, JK. Ida mama wono maroji mokwasa jako munange nyumba era hiyo. Everyone knows. Yes, you have built your mama a house, but it's your house. Tell ayinza kumanyira. Kati ngojango bagamufulumenga bagana. We are in Africa, JK. You're not in Denmark. Bano mu Africa bozimira mama wenyumba bayiyo. Yana yaba achimanyi. So, the sacrifices, guys. Good morning, everyone that has just come up. So today we're talking about the sacrifices that you should make before, during, and for a car as a man, because this week is for men and cars. So, which sacrifices as a man should you be making for your car? We have always been talking about that before. And I've been encouraging you emoroka toyina chikutwala mu bondi. I've been telling you toyina chikutwala mu bondi nga sento ina ntono, and that's the truth. Omuntu alina million anamubita wali chiguza moroka ya 3. Okitegeera, omuntu alina million 2 wali chiguza moroka ya million 18. Okitegeera, it's a fact. You can choose to ignore it, okitegeera, but it's a fact, because whether you like it or not, it's important for you to have money on your account ngate zenkanankana nezewagula emmotoka kale nika tugoba ne million 2 n'ogula emmotoka ya million 2 n'osigala nga toyina yadde 10 ojja tuga tusagisamu ka full tank nga atabwakola. Okitegeera, that's the other thing I learned. You have peace when you can actually buy enough fuel for your car. Novuga ne SC. I remember the times that I used to drive cars nga SC mwali naye nga baba okusaamu ka SC owulanga ofa. But I can tell you I've so far driven 300 kilometers. I've driven 300 kilometers and my car has taken like a little bit more than a quarter of the fuel. 300 kilometers. So what sacrifices you want to make before you buy a car? First of all, the first sacrifice that I want to tell you, of course it benefits me as well, is the pre-purchase inspection. Ezo sentence taking a buy. You can take whoever you want to take, but make sure you pay that person to help you inspect the car. Because if you don't pay him, the person selling a car might pay them. And you don't know how much they need money. Because if that person needs money and you're not able to pay them and the other person pays them, they will serve the other person. Before you buy a car, always have pre-purchase inspection money on the side. Second, make sure you buy a car that doesn't go beyond your income. Kati, you make like a 1.5 a month in your income. But if one has 40 million on their account and want to buy a car 36 to 40 but still earn about 15 a month, would they be wrong to buy a car at 40 million? JK Kakati, they would not be wrong. But apparently, from what I understand, having served a number of you guys here, having helped people buy having helped people buy cars here, Jacob, from what I've realized with my followers, it's very few people actually make beyond 5 million a month, which is why I rarely encourage them to make those big purchases. Seeing what that has been my interpretation, but of course I don't stop people from buying. I'm just doing an analysis or right? And of course I get people that go and buy. Some people tell me, Arthur, don't share my purchase with on the channel, and we go and buy and I don't really talk about it. And some people make very big purchases and they are secretive about it. But from what I've seen, abantu abasinga bali mu income range ya million 5 abakola ennyo okitegeera. So which is why I'm saying that. But what of someone in that very situation? When someone makes 15 million, then they can definitely buy a car at 40. Abagisobola. Mr. Arthur, I see you on TikTok engaging strangers, but those people, they don't know about your theme goal of the channel. Balabo busaba beba fera. And Abe, I think I talk about Sabeba Fera. It's not a bad thing because you see, the thing with TikTok that has not been on YouTube, since the content, do you realize, Abe, that the content that comes on TikTok is not coming from me? I put one video. For the guys that are not in my TikTok channel, over the Yita channel, it's still For the Love of Cars Uganda. But Abe, if you've seen the content on TikTok, the content on TikTok is actually user generated. The content on TikTok, I put one video ya soka. When I take a video ya soka, people started responding. Now the only thing I do is respond to those comments. You see how I tell you that Togura Volkswagen, and then like 10 people come and say, man, nagura Volkswagen, man, nagura Volkswagen, and then I start responding to those comments. So the fact is, TikTok, the content doesn't come from me. The people on TikTok, I think, are too open. First of all, they can hide their identities on TikTok, so they can speak openly. So the thing that is happening on TikTok is like a revolution that is coming from the people themselves. It's something that you cannot control. And I think the reason why TikTok is the channel on TikTok is growing so fast is because it has a lot of truth and openness to it. It's not that when I talk about, like, there is a lady that said that for her, she has been buying Mazda, she imports her own spares. I did not really get back to her on that, but people kept commenting, and then she kept silent herself. And then, of course, there are some people that come and say, go for miaka munana, bichi. And then it's my job to basically, because it coincides with what this channel does. The content that is on TikTok is very different from the content that is here, because you people that are on YouTube are a little different from the majority of the people on TikTok. Of course, everyone has a TikTok apart from JK, I think. JK, almost everyone in Uganda has a TikTok. I mean, my TikTok wouldn't be growing that fast. In 3 days, I went from having 800 followers to 10,000. I think now I have 10,500 followers. You get it? But Abby, I'm not an enemy to anyone. I'm not an enemy to anyone. What I did, I thought I would run TikTok the way I'm running this channel, that I would do modest content. Right? That I would do modest content. But the content on TikTok is user generated. Like, I talk about the IPSAM, and then 4 people come and tell you the IPSAM is good. I have had it, bichi. And then 4 people come and tell you IPSAM, bichi. And then 5 people come and tell you this. Right? And for me, I think TikTok is a very good platform that everyone can open. If anybody feels they are offended, they can go and open their own channel and still grow their content like that, and then they can probably grow the opposite of the content that I'm making. You get it? Yeah, JK, I'm a marketer, and even I did not understand TikTok before. But I realized TikTok is one channel that you can use to market. It's not, TikTok is not an end to itself for the guys that have businesses. TikTok is not an end channel. TikTok is an awareness channel to get people to get aware of you or your business, and then you push them to another channel. So TikTok, I don't even talk about pre-purchase inspection. I don't even talk about anything that I sell. I don't talk about the services I provide. But all I'm doing is I'm telling them about the channel. The people that end up coming to the channel are the people that will get to know about what I do. Apparently, there's someone that actually came to the channel, to the TikTok, and told the guys, you guys should go and check out this guy's YouTube channel. It has a lot of great content. So I keep telling them, okay, YouTube has better content than actually what we have here. TikTok, I think one thing that makes it popular is that it's short content, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds. So the guys that ask for longer videos, and I tell them, go to the YouTube channel. It has longer videos. Yeah, but TikTok grows too fast. I've never understood Snapchat. That one I tried, and I could not understand Snapchat. Yeah, but TikTok is one channel that every business owner here should have. And if you don't know like the approach you can use to make it grow, I can probably help. You see, NBS is using TikTok in a different light. You get serious news anchors dancing with each other, a married man and a married woman married to different people. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to create content that will get people to understand, oh, there is a TV station called NBS. Maybe I should go watch this guy's news. Maybe I should see what he's like when he's reading the news, stuff like that. Anyway, let's go back to our... So we are talking about, this week is for men and cars. Gen Z has a very short concentration span, and TikTok serves them definitely. But I think I'm in the wrong generation. I think I was supposed to be Generation Z. You know why? I also have a very short concentration span. I'm even surprised I concentrate this much on this channel. I think I'm really passionate about this. One way I prove that I don't have a lot of concentration is I can run for 2 hours on the road, but I cannot run for 30 minutes on a treadmill, because the treadmill bores me. The treadmill bores me. I be there and then I put it out. But I can run for 2 hours on the road, probably because I be looking at different things. Yeah, I think I was born in the wrong generation. And my son took that thing when teachers were giving us the reviews of how my son performs urban. I said, Aban happy mangu. Aban is my replica. That Aban can be doing a task, like they can be swimming in the swimming pool, and they tell them to do moves as they go to the other end. Kati Aban ali fast nyo nti ebitamugasa abibuka. So he can be swimming, and if he can skip a move, he skips it. I think he could do better, but I think he's too fast. Have you guys seen this meme where the guy goes to look for a job and they ask him, what's your strength? And the guy says, I'm really fast. And they say, hey, are you fast? Even with number, I say, yeah, 15 plus 15. And he says 25. He said, but that's wrong. And he says, but it was fast. I think Aban is right now, he's that kind of person. I know he will change. He's still young. I know that he will change. Yeah, but apparently he's a Generation Z kind of person. He gets bored very quickly, like the father. Anyway, let's go back. And I think you realize even the way I do the live broadcasts, I talk about different things. I think it keeps my mind engaged, and then I keep coming back to what I wanted to talk about. So we are talking about, this week, we are talking about men and cars. And today we are talking about the sacrifices you should make before, during, and for when you have a car. I know the English is wrong, JK. Please don't correct me. I wanted to ask you, there's something I wanted to ask you in English. I'm going to remember and ask you, because so we are talking about we are talking about the sacrifices as a man that you should make for cars. Kubanga, you should draw the line. Where should you stop? with sacrifices. The first sacrifice, we said you need to apply a lot of math before you buy a car. Don't get all your money and buy a car. You see, JK is telling you someone that makes 15 million a month can buy a car at 40, even when the 40 is what he has on the account. But how many of us can make 15 million a month? You get how many of you actually make the 10 million a month? How many? I don't make 10 million a month because that's a lot of money. Hi, Chris Da Vinci. That's a lot of money. So if very few of us actually make more than 5 million a month, then as a man, you need to ask yourself, which car should I be driving? How much am I going to be spending on fuel every week? Because kakati, we spend money. I refuel almost every week. Like today it's quarter, but as I go to help someone buy a car today, I'm going to probably drive up to like, it will be quarter tank by the time I'm done. So I have to go to a petrol station and refuel. And so you need to ask yourself, how much do I spend on servicing? How much do I spend on maintenance? Then you need to know, am I able to sacrifice that much for a car? You get, am I able? Because like on TikTok, we keep talking about these cars that are very hard to maintain, the Volkswagens, the Mazdas, the Mercedes-Benz, the Nissans. And apparently you guys, from the TikTok comments I get, you guys should avoid buying any Nissan. People are complaining about Nissans, especially the maintenance bit. Not the reliability bit, the maintenance bit. That Nissans are very expensive to maintain. You get. So you need to ask yourself, am I willing to make this sacrifice when I have the car? But this is the before you buy a car. So you ask yourself, because like the Nissan hard body, the suspension plate is too expensive. You get. So you need to ask yourself, the Nissan hard body is very cheap to buy, but very expensive to maintain. The Hilux is expensive to buy, but very affordable to maintain. So which sacrifice should I make? Should I make the purchase that is expensive now and then save on fuel later, or should I save on buying now and then should I save on buying now and spend much on fixing or maintaining later, or should I spend a lot on buying and then save on maintenance? This is the math that we should all be having in our mind before we buy a car. You get. I would rather buy an expensive car with bearable cost of ownership. Thank you, JK. Thank you. So normally, the JK option should be the option that you take. That buy a car that is much more expensive now, but more affordable to maintain in the future. You get. So that's the sacrifice that you should be able. That's the logical sacrifice that everyone should be taking. Good morning, Champion Morgan. You get. 20 people, 7 likes. Let's go liking. Let's like the broadcast, guys. It's good for the algorithm. So now that we have understood which sacrifice we should be taking before we buy, you should always think about it. And I always tell my people before they buy a car, I always tell them, you want to buy this particular car, but maintenance will be expensive on you. Are you sure you can manage it? And then I go ahead to tell them the kind of expenses that might come with it in the future. And if they can bear it, they go ahead and buy. But normally it's much better thing for you to buy a car that will be very affordable or cheap to maintain. You get. So that's what I also recommend. Champion Morgan. Yeah, the name actually sounds like a gospel artist. Then when you have bought a car, you need to ask yourself, which sacrifices can I make to keep this car on the road? Because there are cars that you will buy and literally your people will not be eating food. You're trying to keep a car on the road. There is a guy on TikTok, those guys on TikTok are very honest with their experiences. Some guy on TikTok said he bought a Mercedes-Benz C200. And he put a lot of money in that car until he realized that he wasn't even eating. He was trying to keep the Mercedes-Benz on the road. Najitunda. Then there is another guy. He said he bought a Rauma 12 million. He drove it for a month. But in that 1 month, he spent a lot on the car. And he ended up selling it 7 million. You get. So apparently, when I tell you guys Togula Raum old model, Banji Bajanga Baza Gara Raum old model, apparently because so many people have been telling them Karaum old model Tekanywa. okitegeera Karaum old model tekanywa kaina amanyi bichi. And there are two people that actually, I think 3 people that talked about the Raum old model, giving them very bad experience. Nange nga kuontadde kati nze ndi wakusatu mu bantu b'omanyi aba Raum old model. Personally, I bought the Raum old model and I even put new tires, but I drove it for 2 weeks and sold it. I sold it at a profit, definitely. But the fact that I sold it after 2 weeks, I had put a new radio, I had put an alarm, you get. But I drove it for only 2 weeks and I sold it, you get. Because the Raum can give you a very bad experience if you're not lucky. Of course, there are people that have enjoyed the Raum. I'm not saying that experience is the same for everyone. There are some people that will say negative guy bigambo bijjawa go experience zo zijjawa. Okitegeera. So Morgan is saying the word champion motivates him. Yeah, definitely. It's very good. It's very good for all of us to have something that actually keeps us on our feet. Yeah. So when and then there's definitely someone that came nagamba sienta agenda mutta, like it was taking a lot of their money, stressing them a lot. And then someone came and said the person was about to kill him. Good morning, Vianney. You get it? Apparently, Vianney, yourself, the people on TikTok, nobody has shared a bad experience about a Subaru. Not yet, at least. There is one that said that Yagura Subaru Yatabo yaregenda Moria. And I keep telling people you don't need a Subaru that has a turbo. Like, where are you going to go so fast that you need that turbo? Buy an non-turbo Subaru and you'll be safe. Yeah. Discipline is better. Motivation is not always there all the time. Yeah, motivation is not always there. I've realized that discipline grows the things you like into habits. But of course, experiences are unique, Joseph. Experiences are unique. But there are cars that we recommend. By the way, you get a Kuraum. I know someone who I will not disclose the name. He got it from the bond. But Yamulema. And sometimes I've been trying to get a nonga sagaba nebagambo yogaya. I got a baga's Vianney I'm budget Ochitota Vianney. I love my car too much, my car Corolla. But me, I've driven plenty of cars. Almost all the cars abantu zebaga okuvuga ngo jeko zinempye nnyo. Abantu abayine sente ntono zebaga okuvuga ze motoka zonna zonna nzivuze. Okitegeera. So kati abono UBA. And then someone was telling us, was it here? Someone was telling us a guy was driving a Starlet. Ngankadde yajugula million ne mukolera bulungi nnyo. He sold the Starlet to go to the bond and buy a Raum new model. But the Raum, the engine blew in a month. Chukanga ka Starlet yakavuga kiyagule million ennya. Okitegeera. Gideon says he drove a Raum old model for 8 years, but he spent a lot on it. Yego Gideon emotoka enkadde zikuyisiza bubi nnyo. Motoka enkadde goleka toyinayo mukisa. I would advocate for anyone to buy a naturally aspirated engine because it has less points of failure. Turbo is cool, but it's an added point of failure in an engine. Definitely. The more things every extra thing that is put on a thing gives it high chances of actually getting problems. I think even us as people, these glasses, there's so many times I've imagined, you guys, I'm sure you've watched movies where something like hits someone's eyes. Now I'm imagining I have my glasses and then my glasses fail and then they poke my eyes out. That's why I don't watch horrors. Horrors scare me a lot. Like these glasses are a point of failure because when I talk of my glasses, I can't see far. You get it? That's a point of failure. That's why I'm telling you guys, if you can avoid getting glasses, like literally all your life, avoid them. Don't sit on PCs for long. Don't look in bright lights because these glasses, man, every extra thing that you add on yourself is a point of you actually failing. I almost bought a Mitsubishi Outlander in 2009, but my mechanic advised me not to. So thank God I listened to him. So and Vianney, your Subarus are safe. The only person that actually has complained about a Subaru on my TikTok is the person that bought a Subaru that has that thing, the turbo. You get, he says the turbo kept disturbing him. Other people that have Subarus, they are very comfortable. They know the maintenance is a little higher than Toyota, but they also know that it's normal for the maintenance to be high. TikTok mo comment section people are very fast to engage. TikTok unajitide baba. You post a video and like in the next 20 minutes you have like over 25 comments. Which take it. The Alteza is good. Zanka channel. Zanka channel. What do you do, man? The Alteza is a very good car. Just make sure you don't buy the one that has a Yamaha engine. Buy the Alteza that has a Beams 2000 engine and you'll be okay. Which take it. I like the Alteza, but the only reason I cannot buy the Alteza is because nyizo okufanze. Nyine ekigere kizi to ateka Alteza bokatula mbotu labi yadala ngo inakuba ngodduka. That's the other reason I cannot drive a Subaru. Which take Subaru eyo mbwenjitula mu bwenti ndabira danga nyina kudduka olabaka corona kano emana nyina bisere ye bienvuge no kutubo cha ne banvira nyanji duzi. But I'm steady on the road. After for me I have driven Subarus for 9 years and apart from maintenance sina buzibu nazo. Yeah, and I think Vianney, with maintenance, the longer you drive a car, the more you get used to the cost. Oshtegera. Kati nze jengulira ka cross akemitwala ebiri ekitundu gwe cross yera bikayetano. But you're used to it. You know that okay, you'll spend 50,000 on a cross. I'll spend 100,000 on a CV joint. You get I'll spend 70,000 on air cleaner. Yeah, I buy my air. And by the way, guys, I've realized the air cleaner is one of the best things you can ever give your car every time you do service. I've seen mileage on my car increase or decrease. Okay, the mileage on my car or the fuel gets better with the newer air cleaner. So every time you do service, change the air cleaner. It's a cost that you think is not important, but every time you do service, change the air cleaner. You'll thank me later. Airtel money. So guys, men and cars this week, and we're talking about the sacrifices you should be making for your car as a man. Remember, as a man, you have people to take care of. Me, I have my boys, then I have my wife, then I have a house to finish, and then I have my grandmother. And then I have my little cousins that every now and then I inzo kukubira mpeleza yo mutwalo bichi sometimes ngana because abantu tulosigala ngo bawabuye obakuze ekyejo mze sina gwe nakubiranga kumpa. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've innovated a lot, because I know I have no one to call which tegera. So sometimes nabongana, but my judge sisobola gana batabani bange sisobola kugana kuba bakyali bato. Good morning ako Salumina daku yakuyisemu. So I realize that there are sacrifices that I should first put off when I'm thinking about my car. You need to be in so can the car. I have a business to run. Like I was supposed to change the engine like in March, but I have a major project that's going to need a lot of money. So I'm thinking watching $250,000 ebiri kati nziteke mu engine motoka nga nene ekyatambula neno yenyini makanika ngere yagala jingulako agiteke mu motoka eji yaguze spatio. You get it? So I find that this engine is still working. Okitegeera. So let me drive it nsoke malirize emirimu giri nsoke ntambuze business, then I can put the engine afterwards. Okitegeera. So there are sacrifices as a man you're supposed to put off. You have a line. And I have a neighbor with a Voxer akachusa engine emirundi na nange sacrifice. Speaking about sacrifice, Vianney, why would you change the engine 2 times? Wenge ye motoka bagikulamira anti boliva ku Voxer ogenda kufa. You get that? Probably that's where we need like awareness, like this awareness. Why would you change an engine 2 times? I find that if I change an engine once and I realize I may need to change an engine the second time, that's the time for you to change, to sell the car and buy another one. You get it? And actually, if you're changing the engine because the engine has totally failed, and you've seen the reviews, because with the Voxes, so many people have issues with Voxes. So many people, and I'm telling you, there's someone here that wanted to buy a RAV4, the newer model, I think 2004, and I told him, don't buy the RAV4 that has an engine that shares the same engine with the Voxy. Buy a RAV4 that shares the engine with the Primo. or with the newer. And I kept telling them that thing, but mukama abasasi bulwogenda nga togenze na athagula motoka waliwo risks obogendeddemu okitegera, because when I'm paired with my mechanic, there are things we think about that I've worked with other mechanics, but I have like 2 or 3 mechanics that I work with nenda abantu we pick picking amangu tulowoleza abantu baffe. So like Vianney, when we're talking about sacrifices, as a man, I would not buy an engine 2 times. Olaba ne bwekuba kusiba bwensiba emmotoka engine omulundi gumu nenda nga neta gogisiba ogwokubiri. That's like something, that's a message from God. Sell. You sell that car and buy another kemotoka tebagikulamirako. Okitegeera. Temulaba nti akamotoka kano nkaaga. I've realized manual cars are rare. Ero inajja na mpaka sente nga mpitawo nkamuwa. Because tebaginamirako. I can sell it to him and buy it from him later. Okitegeera. If I really want it, I can buy it from him later. I also realize that police has these newer Corollas, the 2010, 2012s. I can go and buy that Corolla from auction at around 8 million. And I come and I fix it up. And I still have a manual car in 2010. Okitegeera. Tebaginnamirako. If someone is looking for a manual car right now, it's all okumubula. Ne bajja ne banga athaka tukuwe sente oyagala mmeka ne mumpe ne bampa. Nganga awanyo wao iyo mujitwale. You get what I'm saying? But now, why would someone change an engine 2 times? And I'm sure your engineer ajigula million nga 3 kunya. And I'm thinking buli wagula engineer bamuguzambi. Because I told you, mechanics are not your friends. Mechanics are not your friends. Mechanics are literally looking to eat. Like, my mechanic is not a bad person, but I literally have to be there and watch him when we are buying cars. He's not compromised. I make sure he's not compromised because I was hired, not him. I hired him. So I need to make sure that, okay, this guy should not be compromised now, because he gets compromised, we lose business. Katiba mechanic, when you're doing the inspections, how do you know that in the 2.5cc and the 2.0cc are the owner Tagambi? And that's why we are there. Hey, Salumina, you'll give me my money. I'll eat the 400k. That's why we are there. Kubaka tife tumanya. Katugwe choto manyi tumanya. Orumune bananyine moro kateba manya abatunda. By the way, the Vitz we bought for Hillary, we drive to Lubowa. And this guy comes here to Gambia. I'm driving a 1.3cc engine. When he sent me the engine, I told him this is a 1.0. Then, but the owner of the car kept telling him that he's driving. I bought a new engine, 1.3 Janate Kamu. We reached the car and we opened the bonnet. Then the bonnet has a 1.0cc engine. The guy keeps then I got a 1.0. No, I bought a 1.3. The fact is, the guy changed a new engine. For the mechanic told him they were putting for him a 1.3cc. What? They put a 1.0. They even gave him paperwork that showed that they put a 1.3cc. Abantu babbi. They put for him a 1.0cc engine. So all along his selling point was, I'm selling you a 1.3cc engine, the 2NZ, which take it. And then guy naka 1.0. So sometimes just give Arthur his 400k. And then save yourself. Go so to later relaxing. Go sigare kusima interior and you meet the body and you meet the Arthur. Because Arthur will get you a good deal. So for us, we know a friend bought a Voxer in 2012 and still has it in excellent condition. Hasn't had any issues with it. Jackie, I've been telling you guys, I personally realized the problem with Voxers. They overheat on people. And when that Voxer engine overheats, you just have to change it. I think JK, your friend, is very careful. He's very careful with his car. But majority of Ugandans don't really know how to take care of their cars. And when a Voxer overheats, and majority of the time, I know that's what happens. It overheats. Try to make a comparison between the Wish and Vista over prices and maintenance. Arthur, what would you recommend? Depends. The Vista can be cheaper than the Wish. But if you want a car that takes more people, the Wish is definitely better. But if you want a car that you can buy at a cheaper price, the Vista is okay. But they are both VVTi. The Wish takes 7 passengers, the Vista takes 4 passengers. You can get a Vista at 10, 12. A Wish at 10, 12 will not be good. Yeah. Okuja kunga, it's a very old number plate like UAY, then it might be good at looking at the current prices, even UAY may not be good. Subarus have boxer engines. This makes them a little more stable on the road. My wife has a Spacio, but the moment you go past 120 kilometers, it shakes in steering wheel. So no. Vianney, shaking in the steering wheel is a car that is not in good condition. Shaking in the steering wheel is a car that is not in good condition, Vianney. The car is not in good condition. For a car to shake in the steering wheel, there are a number of reasons. One, the rims. That's what they call wheel balancing. The rims are not balanced. 2, wheel alignment. 3, suspension. A car to shake eyange enkadde kubagana ne wansawo naye teyenyenyanga nyingira 100. Okitegeera. The car to shake the steering wheel, the car is not in good condition. That's one thing I can tell you, Vianney. No car shakes steering wheel at 120 if it's in good condition. Na mukadde wange chokuna kugana Vianney. Leta Subaru tugende ku express nkulage. Mwe Vianney, take that Spacio to the garage. If they get about wheel balancing, wheel balancing 6,000 per wheel, then I think wheel alignment is about 40-45. That's okay. About wheel alignment, we are once a motor canfu, but jakugamba. But first of all, if you can take it to the garage, back able to what they want say you then again the wheel alignment, the wheel balancing, then the demo juvuge kukubo English kumi abidi ombuli obene damo okunyenya. It won't. A car that's being well maintained doesn't shake the steering wheel. I tell you, if you find a car that is in very bad condition, even at 60, it will shake the steering. You can know that because the car has all the info on it. Munange jeke with our old cars, you will find that everything was stripped. The information kasi muka. Ochitegera. Emoroka ezimu ne wali obubati bw'omaaso. Buba nabo bwasimuka. Ochitegera. Hell is reliable, Gosaga. Hell is reliable. Which type of car is good to make business if I have 4 million? Oyagala kuchawa abantu katigwe. Zanka. Oyagala kuchawa abantu at 4 million. Chivina. That's the Corona 190. Okay? Chivina, Corona 190. Chikumi. Chikumi. Which other car? You can get the Mark II, the old Mark II. The one that has Mugongo Gwamba engine. Which other car can you get? Starlet. Depending on what business you're going to use it for, those are the cars you can actually get at 4 million. You can get the Ipsum that is in bad condition. The engine is bad. The interior is trashed. The body might actually look okay. No tires, cracked windscreen. You can get the Ipsum as well. Now the Ipsum will do better business. But the Ipsum, even with a bad engine, you can still move. But just know a car 4 million will not be in very good condition. Will not be in good condition. Let me not even put the word very. A car 4 million will not be in good condition. Right now. In the past, you could have gotten a car 4 million. Right now, even at 6 million, in a million, at 6 million, you know the can at 6 million, your options are very limited. You get you should run for your dear life when they bring you a Voxer. Yeah, the Voxers are not, but the Voxers, it's the way people drive them. The physics of a boxer engine has nothing to do with the car's stability on the road, but explaining the force distribution during piston movement is a very complex topic to a layman. If I wanted a Voxer, I would buy it, but I'm not a fan of vans. I think the stability he means is because the Boxer engine is lower in the engine bay. Lower. Jeff, what he said was that his wife's Spacio shakes the steering wheel when you go past 120. And I totally know that when your steering wheel starts shaking, it means your car is in bad condition. You get it? It means your car is in bad condition. You should take it to the garage. From experience, that's what I know. It means there's something wrong, Masa. It has nothing to do with stability. All cars can be stable. Some cars are lighter on the road, but still the steering should not shake. Good morning, bro. My neighbor has a Dodge, but he's always parked. He's now on a Primo. Hey, but my TikTok channel is going far. People are going to wake up. People are going to wake up. TikTok and I think with TikTok Toyota will reach out to me faster. Yes, that's what meant for. Okay. Oh, okay, Jeff. I totally get it. Subarus. Nobody has actually complained about Subarus. People have even complained about Sientas. People have been complaining about Wish. People have complained about cars that, in case that car fails you, indeed it's you. The car is no problem. Because Wish we could zibu. Like if someone came with a Corolla and I say in the Corolla name, zibu. Which say either he doesn't know where the good mechanics are, or he doesn't pay the mechanics. Like if someone came to me and they said Raumu new modern name, like, come on, seriously? Let's go back to the topic because my time is almost done. Sacrifices as a man that you should make for a car. Don't ever change the engine of a car more than once. If you change the engine of a car, sell it. God did not tell you that you will drive that Corolla for the rest of your life, or else nzerabo jango percent is mumoro keno nganze nchibalabala pitanz njikuwa ochitegeda anti okuyita okwange kuli nti 1% enfune moroka endala that very day because ebintu ebyange kati sikyasobola beera nga sina moroka ochitegeda sikyasobola so kati muze bonde tange ekibalo kyange kigatta era abampa milioni 8 tekinnagatta milioni 8 nze mayisina wengenda kujja moroka etuuka na mukadde wange ono okitegeera. It has a lower center of gravity than other engines, but stability of a car on the road is a combination of several things: unibody versus body on frame, type of suspension, etc. He should change the outer tire rod end if the steering is shaking. At times, wheel alignment won't help if the tire rod end joints have too much play. And that's why I've told him to first go to the garage. They change everything that needs to be changed. Then it goes to wheel alignment. Because namukaddo wange nagakola kano. Biyani. Oba jenku mbaweka kola mu spasio munyongereyo kasente. Kwe morokeze empya tezina chizibayamba. Kati moroke empya nyenyeta mu steering. Muleta spasio. I will do you a favor. Spasio mwe wadde empya kale njabba yamba njitwale munyongereyo ka milioni zange nga 7. Mbaweno mugende mweyagale. Pakati. I'm here to be at your service. Anyway, which sacrifices should you make? Guys, you are a man. There is no reason why your people eat bad food because you're trying to maintain a car. Your people should eat good food. Your kids should eat ice cream. Let me tell you people, everything you did not get when you were growing up, give it to your kids. Especially if you have a baby girl. Guys, if you have had a girl, give her everything that a man can use to entice her. So that when it comes to time for men to try and entice her, she has eaten everything. She has been everywhere. That's why it's important that you buy a car that is affordable to maintain, like JK said. Your topics and recommendations for cars is very educative. You just need to pay attention to your emphasis. Thank you, Gerald. Make sure you if you have baby girls, man, if you as a father don't work hard to provide for your baby girl, she will work hard in different ways that I'm sure you don't want. You get? So it's important that as a man, you learn where to sacrifice and where to not. When you're buying a car, You see, Vianney has a Subaru, but he also has a Spacio. When the Subaru maintenance gets tricky, they drive the Spacio. He will not tell you this. He loves the Subaru, but he knows they need a Toyota at home. Mugezi, these are things that men don't tell you, the men that have money. You see, if Vianney driving a Subaru, you also go and buy a Subaru as your own car, your only car. And then with the time you fail to maintain the Subaru. So as a man, you need to know, where do I stop sacrificing to own a car? If you continue buying cars that you cannot maintain, or cars that take a lot of fuel, or cars that are expensive to keep on the road, by the time you're 50, you may give up on cars. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. Have you guys realized that by the time men are 50, majority of men, older men, majority of them, by the time they are 50, they have given up the idea of owning a car? I don't know if it's just in the area where I live. I don't know if it's just with the men I've seen. But men give up. Let's live even 50. Retirement age. Good morning, Matthias. Good morning, Brian. Don't buy a car if your kids are malnourished or you yourself. Thank you, Brian. Suppose you said Grand shares pair with which car? Grand shares spares with Alteza. It shares with Alteza. Which again. But of course, Brian, you need to understand that there are some kids that are malnourished because you had kids with the wrong mother. Banga bozara mumama nge wawe sibaji mwero bwana ne bono obuwachi. Era bujala bikango obutalya. Wawo abantu abambe manyinga abana babalisa ne baba ne bongo ndoza kagamya amata gayinzo bategakola katumawe ku bongo ngo bwana buganye kugamanga omusayi. DNA is bad. Morning guys, we have 25 on, but I see only guys. Thank you, Manange Marvin. People like the broadcast. It's good for the algorithm. It's good for the algorithm. If you have not liked the video you're watching, click the like button. Thank you. You get it? You need to know as a man, because we as men, we have responsibilities beyond what we think. First of all, you're responsible for your nuclear family. You're responsible for your clan, Echikacho, whether you like it or not. If you still have your son name, I'm called Echisenyi. I'm responsible. Buli natambula abamanye fumbe bajagambo yo mwana wa fumbe. So I'll make my clan proud. Then you have responsibility to your tribe, whether you like it or not. You have the responsibility to not shame your tribe. It's there. Echotuchikirize ne Yesu yaina tribe oba yali mu Yudaya for the Brian. Yesu yali wa tribe chi. Even Jesus had a tribe. Whenever they are talking about Jesus, they talk about his tribe. It's important. Then you have a responsibility to your country. Wherever you go, they'll say, which country are you from? I remember the times I used to go abroad and ask him, which country are you from? I'm from Uganda. Oh, Amin did a very good job for Uganda. He was responsible. He had a responsibility to his country and he did his job very well. Yari kaburu. Yari mu Yudaya. Yes, yari mu Yudaya. Yari mu Yudaya. You get. So Amin did a very good job for his country. He did a very good job for his tribe. Kakati, without Amin, when would I know that there is a tribe called Kakwa? There are people called Bakakwa. I would not know. But because Amin was there, Amin existed. And apparently, there has not come another Kakwa man that is as strong as Amin. So the Kakwa people, if there is a Kakwa here, you need to know you are a representative of your tribe. So you need to know you have a responsibility there. As a man, women, when they get married, they transition to their men's tribes. My woman is from the West. By the way, these Arabs here know Amin more than Sevo. Exactly. He represented us very well. He represented the country very well. So Kati, Jeke Jolie Denmark, you are a Ugandan first. You're representing us. So era when you make a breakthrough ne bagamba na Uganda eyazimbi simanya oil rig na agiteka mu Atlantic Ocean, oil rig eri etasimanya bichi, you is a Ugandan, then we'll start documenting you. Kakwa babe took my innocence. bali badawufu bali batya. Would you recommend someone to go for a kakwa babe? I recommended my wife to listen to your clips because she needs to sell her car and buy another Econ ride. Yeah, definitely. Very soon she's changing to a Vanguard, but still it will be a Toyota Vianney. That's the thing. It will be a Toyota. Wachitagira kati Vianney mwe mugamba abantu Subaru nungi na egwe wakango inao Toyota ne Subaru. Why you people first buy Toyotas before you buy Subarus? Toyota is katoja sanga ne Vanguard ya raiso kumaintaining okusinga Subaru yo. Ngate Vanguard is a higher class than your Subaru. Wachitagira Kakwa and Nubians are very reliable. Those are people that are still looking for women to marry. But they are also slave queens in the you get. So as a man, you have more responsibility than the responsibility to be comfortable in a ride. You driving a car is something that can die with you. You get an accident, the car dies, you die. But what you did for your people, what you did for your country, what you did for your kids, what you did for your tribe, what you did for your religion, what you did, people will remember you for ages. For example, my dad died when I was 2 years. I remember the cars he had. I have images of the time that he came to visit us, Yajavuga Costa. When I grew up, I was told they were his cars. Now I remember my dad for the fact that he had more money. I don't even remember his face, but I remember the fact that you know what? Tata we are innocent mani era yatukola bubi okufa tata we are innocent mani yali agendo tujambo abo ustegere people still talk about him for that. Kat you as a man, you need to think about before I start thinking that kangenengule kawundo million nsanvu, then you think you guys jeke mumulaba jeke ngatana zimba nyumba yaso se zimbira mama we. That is something that will never be forgotten. Kachibechi Jeke will be talked about. Era ne alifa. Ne mama we na afa. Abali bawo bali gambe nene nyumba jajja mwe oba Jeke ligwayo litya yagisimbira mama we. Jajja wa fe. Yajimuzimbira mwaka bweguti ne bweguti. Eno jajja mwe yali akola Denmark ngera sente jazija nazileta na akola ki. Yali engineer, yali mechanical engineer yenga atakanika motoka, you get it? So there are things here about the joke, but I'm talking about the house that he has built. So one thing you need to understand is that before you sacrifice a lot for a car, I love cars by the way, but the reason why I don't advocate you guys to invest a lot in those cars is because the day you die, people will forget about which car you were driving. And there is no car that guarantees you that bonogwa kabenje tofe. The Galaxy FM, one of the owners of Galaxy FM, yafira mu Benz ku Northern Bypass. Sicho? We have seen MPs die in Land Cruisers. Sicho? Live Saudi Arabia, Amina Zanka. Na ye nganzo mwana wengeye. Siva kumulamwa gwa Nambi. Amina. Toina guvako, you represent abana Nambi. I have 11 million, been to a few bonds, checking out Wish and Vista. I want for business. Yeah, Gerard, I've been telling you guys, when you're going to buy a car, avoid those bonds as much as you can. A car you buy at 11 million in those used car bonds is surely 10 or 9 million. A car you buy 11 million in those used car bonds, because it seems you guys don't really pay attention to what I tell you. Those guys buy cars from people like me that have gone broke, and then they increase the price. A Wish at 11 million in those bonds is going to make you suffer most of the times. And I'm not saying like it will make you suffer now. Try as much as possible. Get brokers. Tell them to take you to owners, not bonds. Owners. Yeah, Devo King, Banange Devo, Badobuze. I last saw you in October. Kulika. After you're viral on TikTok now. Man. Amina, maniga mukama. Video zikute. Kati wano wenyino okufuba okulaba nga nonya Toyota. That's why I don't have to the conviction to spend 65 on a Harrier from the bond. Thank you, JK. You guys, nadala mu abasajja. Nze Arthur, I'm building a legacy. One reason I'm in Uganda here, because I know that when I go abroad, I'm not going to build a legacy for my kids. The legacy I'm building here in Uganda, that when my kid walks to a certain office, they oli mutabani wa Kisenyi, oli mutabani wa Kisenyi, ono Arthur Kisenyi. That's the legacy I'm building for my kids and my family. And I know that I can build it here more than I ever build it anywhere. For me to be able to build a legacy that I want to build, I can build for my kids here by working hard. I'd have to spend billions. Because you remember Ivan Semwanga spent a lot of money putting white parties, but even then, no person remembers him for anything other than the white parties. Because he set up businesses in South Africa, here in Uganda, he could not do anything. The same thing with this guy, Brian White. Other than the money, nobody remembers him for anything. Which take it, akasente ndaba kanji to spend on a car now. Exactly, it's a lot of money. And when we grow old, if you make the right decisions right now, when you grow old, when you get to your 50s, you'll be able to afford those cars. It doesn't go because by the time we turn to you get to your 50s, and probably at that time the Mercedes-Benz is very affordable to maintain. You get it? Talk about Toyota Mark X is a good car, by the way. Toyota Mark X is a good car. The engine doesn't die. The gearbox doesn't die. But it's 6-cylinder, I think. It's 2.5cc. The one reason why people run away from the Mark X is 1, 2.5cc ebenywamuko kutufuta tenywa nnyo, of course, nebenywamuko. Then echirara suspension yayo, you need to keep it in tip-top condition because it's a low car. Also ene wafeno kati nze nga jembera Mark X ebegenda kubonyabonya okitegeera. So Mark X yetaga abantu babeera mu kibuga nga jeke mbera makindye nengenda ko kugaza neva kugaza landi nengenda ke wa mama jabeera wali entinda okitegeera. Then ewakisongenda yemirundi ngebiri. Those are the people that can maintain Mark X properly. But fababeere ne waffe wala Mark X boy no jivaako. Nadia jireke, what's your budget, Ezra? What's your budget for a Nadia? What's your budget for a Nadia? Why I'm telling you to leave the Nadia alone is because the Nadia is not the car to buy now. New and old difference. The old Fielder is like my Corolla. The new Fielder is like the new Corolla. Design. Of course, the new Fielder has a CVT gearbox. The old Fielder has a normal gearbox. But of course, you need to understand that CVT is also good on fuel. You save. Just make sure you don't tamper with the CVT gearbox. Kujikola service mbusinayo ogenza kushero by iwe hydraulic ejja kufiirawo. CVT gearbox, you leave it intact. Of course, the one NZ engine, the new Fielder is also the new technology. So better on fuel, much more comfortable and all that. Of course, much more expensive. So Sylvester and those have answered you properly. Now, Sender, leave the Nadia alone. But if you have 10 million and above, leave the Nadia alone. Go buy a Vista. Why I'm saying a Vista? Because you can get a Vista 10 million and it will be VVTi. The Nadia is not VVTi. It consumes a lot of fuel. Someone sent me a picture yesterday, I think on WhatsApp. Ngayagara Nadia 19 million. I tell you things and you don't even pay attention. Why would you buy a Nadia at 19 million? However comfortable, however new it is. At 19 million, there are plenty of cars you can get. You can get a Spacio new model. You can get a Raum new model. You can get a Sienta. You can get a Wish. You can get the ISIS. You can get a Mark X. You can get plenty of cars. You can get my Corolla, a newer Corolla like than mine. You can get a Fielder. Of course, the new old model. The new model so you get. So there are plenty of cars you can get at 19 million. Why would you choose a Nadia of all cars? Which take it. And you guys be careful. Actually, if you're planning to buy a car, send Arthur 50,000 as commitment. You send me a 50K as commitment. Gomanyenti, I'm not going to buy a car now without Arthur because bagenda kukufera bakutomeze. The person that sent me a picture of Nadia told me a long time ago he wants to buy a car, and he told me the cars he wanted to buy, and I told him, if you want this car, increase the budget. If you want this car, do this. If you want this car, do this. And he told me he would tell me when he's ready. He's ready now. He has not come to me. He's there looking for cars in the market. He's there. Thank you for the advice. He keeps sending me pictures. Should I buy this one? Should I buy this one? Because ebintu byagala mwe kuweerede nze mbikyajingira ate agenda maliriza bamubbi kati kabamubbi mbutuufu nga tebamubbi with my help okitegeera. He can also get premium model okitegeera. Niga yagala gula Nadia milioni 19 mbolokuba kirabika bulungi. Kati Nadia, of course Nadia has to look nice. People don't drive Nadias everywhere because the Nadias consume a lot of fuel okitegeera. So most of the Nadias that you will look at look nice. They are good. The interiors are intact because people don't drive them every day. They consume. The Camry is almost like a Mark II. The Camry is almost like a Mark II. And if you find a new Camry that has a VVTi, because if you find a new Camry, it also has the beams. It will also be very reliable, just like a Mark II. The Camry, Chaser, Mark II, Cressida, they are almost the same car, JK. At morning, can someone get a good G touring and like at how much? Is it easy to change its engine if it need be? Yeah, Jeremy, it's very easy. A good G touring will be around 7 to 8 million. 7 to 8. 7 to 8. And if someone has 10 million, 12, instead of buying a Probox, I'll tell them to buy a G touring. Probox, most of the Probox are poorly driven. I think because everybody that buys a Probox, they buy them for commercial work. And they don't drive them properly. So the G touring at 7, 8, it will be good. I want a Wish 15, but deposit 10. They will sell it to you at 17. That's why normally I tell you guys, if you want to buy a car, get all the money at once. Your budget will come out. This is my budget, and say, can I get it? If you can get it, go and buy full amount. Normally, if a car is valued at 15 and you buy installments, they'll sell it to you at 17. So you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? That's the thing you have to ask yourself, and then you can go on. And also a Wish at 15, even cash. So now you have to imagine at 15 in a banja, will it be good? So sacrifices, guys. Sacrifices, men. This week is for men and cars. And for the ladies like Martha that are watching, now kati omusajja gofuno oyina okumanya musajja kikaaki ye musajja asobola okukwata sente n'azissa mu mmotoka nga tetunasasula rent. You get, there is no way I'm fixing my car before I pay rent. Now, of course, me, I don't pay rent, and we need this car because we move in this car like every day. So this car needs to be in good condition. But still, there are things I don't work on. Until I actually find a constant solution that is permanent. And the brakes are the only thing that actually give me a headache here. That's why I'm telling you, garage. There are sacrifices you should not make for a car before it's time. And there are also sacrifices you need to understand that, okay, now this sacrifice, I just need to sell the car and buy another one. Like if a car keeps eating your money, jitunde ojesonyiwe. You lose nothing. Just sell the car. Ogule motoka endala. Oba wetaaga kusooka obeereko mu bigere, sooka odde ku bigere. That's something you need to understand. So it's the sacrifices we need to make for a car. Don't turn the engine more than once. Then what we bikubagana mu motoka byolina okusooka weesonyiwe. Okitegeera. Oh, JK, I just thought about ngame mbone motoka zovuga tezokugana. Nga wa JK tomanyi bikubagana Uganda. Ngagoba uli omuntu omunga bukubagana roza biri normal because we are in the third world country. Katwawe mu third world country tumanye bikubagana nga tebina kubagana tumanye bikubagana nga bino kubagana. Goyinzo bato bimanye bumanya. But I'm sure gwe motoka zo hiring bobanga you hire, I'm sure you hire. Those cars are very kept intact. Yeah, because Athens sagala mupangisa. Ema tapangisa no aina golofa. Ina n'ekikomera, ina ne garage, n'amazzi yasima, n'amasanyaze weegali, n'afuna ne sola. Kati gwe ddaawo, ennyumba eri awo erinze mukyala. Nze nkayisizaawo Emma w'ofaffa. Nze nkayisizaawo. Emma alina golofa yaggwa dda, tapangisa. So you guys, as men, there are sacrifices that I understand. I know we want cars. We all want to drive. And indeed, a car helps us as men it helps us uh, to achieve our goals. It helps us to attract the right women, probably the right women. I hope you attract the right women with your cars. It helps us close business deals. It helps us look like we are successful. It helps us move from point A to B, move our products from point A to B. But in the end, you have to ask yourself, is this car worth the sacrifice? I can tell you their businesses have closed ngavuga primo ngeddugala n'okuddugala because baali baagala kiri mbwongo bwange and they were never disappointed. Their businesses I closed ngavuga emmotoka eno ng'erabika buli okusinga bw'erabika and I closed those business. Their businesses I closed when I took a border to those meetings nga benclosinze nabo business bavuga Land Cruiser naye nga baagala kiri wano. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So, byonna tubikola tulowooza emmotoka ejja kuyambako to close business because wenakulaba nga opakinze emmotoka ey'omulembe biki unless you're in real estate, you are an engineer who goes to a site in a car. But even when you're an engineer, you can still go in a cheap car and still do a good job and you still get referrals. Because even as an engineer, if you do bad work and you come driving a Land Cruiser, that person will not refer you. Like the engineer that was on my house, eyazimba ennyumba yange. Eno wansi yazimba bulungi, waggulu pulaani n'agisoma bubi. N'etonnya n'okutonnya. Siyinza kumurekomendinga ne bwampa miliyoni 100. Kale bwampa miliyoni 100 abanguze. Naye talina miliyoni 100 because of the work he does. I hope you guys get my point. Miliyoni 10 tasobola kuba nazo because of the kind of work he does. Because I'm sure buli bwazimbira n'amuzimbira nga bwe yanzimbira tasobola kumurekomendinga. Okitegeera. Actually, after that experience, I realized I will be my engineer for some of these things, like plaster, my engineer. I realized ebintu ebimu abantu bano bebakola ebintu ebimu bya common sense. Kati omuntu waba yagenda n'asoma ebitabo nga talina common sense, ebintu ebimu abijja bimesinga up. Like right now, these hidden roof houses, zino hidden roof kati essaawa eno abantu abasinga bazimbira ku common sense because tebabimanyi tebabisoma. Ne baba basomesa mu technical schools tebasomesa hidden roof. Kati ne ba engineer bennyini abazimba hidden roof bazimbira ku bwongo bwabwe. Kati omuntu waba talina bwongo bulungi era ajja kunyiiza. Okitegeera. Away from that, I understand that a car is very, very, very important. Nze okuva mu mmotoka nvuga ekiyenje. Sijja kuva mu mmotoka. Kale ndivuga starlet. That's the promise I've made myself. But there are also sacrifices I don't make. Okitegeera. There are sacrifices I don't make. Sika kusanyusa bantu. Because at the end of the day, the car you drive, gwajagala, gwe, n'abatakufaako. Abantu abatitupika. Hey man, walese ekipya. Those guys don't care who you are. They don't care about you. Abakupika ng'oguze emmotoka ey'akabi. Okitegeera. Because the car is not really an achievement. That's why people celebrate it. Ng'oyagala okukakasa achievement ez'amaanyi. Zimba ennyumba. You realize most of them will not actually be happy for you because it's a big achievement. It's a big achievement. People will not be so happy for you. Guys, I want you to test it when you buy a car. Majority of your friends will be, but they will not be that happy for you when you say you built a house. Because a house is a big achievement. Big achievements are not celebrated even by your family because they are big. I remember I talked about the difference of fuel consumption because people like Toyota give a range. I remember I talked about the difference with fuel consumption because people like Toyota. Sylvester, ask aloud, ask again. I hear you, Arthur. Like how I sold the Vitz with a rebuilt engine. Yes, rebuild it, sell. Rebuild, sell. Give get another option. Martha, oyagala biwedde. Such a man won't respect you that much because you found him a finished product. I personally would never fully trust a lady who found me all set. I would stay with her with reservations. I will add on, I don't want someone who has nothing completely. The architect friend of mine recommended my friend recommended lacked common sense. I made him change the plan about 7 times. I basically came up with a basic plan in AutoCAD at the end and set it to him to follow. There are people that don't have common sense. Common sense mutono. kati engineer yali wano ku nyumba yange just kututawanya butawanya kutononera sente. JK, unless that man is 18 years but men build at 23, if he's 30 without a project house, he's totally a loss. Matha ngokubye nnyo. There are people that don't have the houses even at 40 naye nga sente bazirina. Okitegeera nga tandaba nsonga lwaki azimba nga ali single. Okitegeera abamu babeerayo nga balina emizigo gyabwe, abamu babeerayo nga sente zaabwe aziteeka mu business nga tanayagala kuzimba nnyo because talina. Me, I personally built a house because I have a family. Okitegeera, and my family can stay here. Kati if I didn't have a family nzisenga mpangisa. Okitegeera. Arthur, what friends do you have? My group of friends celebrate each other's achievement and even contribute interest-free loans when they are stuck. JK, I think it also has to do with where we grew up, Ndoza. It has to do with where we grew up. And also, JK, I also think nti oinokuba with a certain kind of vigilance to know this thing. There are people that will celebrate you when they are not celebrating you. I want you to try to start and look at things in a way. I want to start looking at things in my way. Start being vigilant. I'm an introvert. I look like I'm an extrovert, but I'm an introvert. I don't talk a lot. And I see things that probably extrovert people would not see. Extroverted people would not see because they are constantly talking to people. So they don't take time to notice. But there are times I would recognize someone that does not like you when you actually think they like you. So, and I think, JK, you've had a lot of good luck that you've not seen bad luck to see who your true friends are. JK, if you want to know who your true friends are, you need to have a setback. And I'm not saying you should, but for any man to know who your true friends are, damuke mabega. That's when you'll know who your true friends are. But from what you've told us, JK, I've realized that your life has been progress after progress after progress. When your life is progressing and progressing and progressing, you continuously have friends. Because bachimani you're progressing, and your progress will lead to their progress. But as a man, that's when you start realizing that, okay, I've had friends that came through, JK, and not all of them will not celebrate. And that's why I said that not all your friends will actually celebrate you when you have those big achievements. But you need to be very careful. Or not very vigilant to actually see these things. And JK, bananga abantu bali opportunistic. JK, someone can know that this guy never day mabega tadda mabega nnyo era bwadde mabega maso. Sylvester says, I remember you talked about the size of tire size difference with fuel consumption because people like Toyota give range of tire to be used. Yeah, the bigger the tire you give your car, the more fuel it will consume because the tire actually has to roll more times to finish the circumference. So if a car is recommended for a tire, take a kogo mupira. If you put a big tire, don't put a very big tire. Talk about Corsa car. The Corsa is a good car, but I wouldn't recommend you buy it. I've had setbacks before, and my friends came through. I don't want to be too negative, JK, but I've seen this too many times. And majority of the time, Abasajja women, we learn this in our 40s and 50s. That, okay, oh, this guy wasn't really my friend. When things are assumably going well, everyone will be there. Arthur, that man of 30 plus without a project house, trust me, he's a total loss. Women should run away from him. That's why they are not even married. I remember Chris Da Vinci wrote something up here. Truth, my big brother has always been building a Wazitunda. He hasn't settled yet. He is 32 now. Yeah, Martha, it's true. There are people that have not built houses because they don't have a reason to build a house. We say they don't have I have a family, so it's explainable. Anybody with a family Bobo in a family by 30, you should have something for them. Lekera okwenjeza abantu muzigo ku muzigo.
gwingoloozo oli mugezi nnyo okitegeera bw'oba olina family bazimbire kira okubenjeeza. One major reason why I like you, Arthur, you know facts and you speak real life issues. Most friends don't want people to be above them. I don't have many friends, by the way. My inner circle is about 5 people. It's not about rolling, Arthur. It's about increased contact area with the ground that contributes to friction. It's not about rolling, Arthur. It's about increased contact. Kati increased contact area with the ground. Chogere mu Luzungu na Uganda. Martha is in an alien world. I have no house and I'm still renting. Exactly, JK. That's what I'm saying, Martha. JK has no house because he doesn't need to build a house right now. Having a house at 30 is not a yardstick for success. Thank you, Stuart. It's not a yardstick. Some people build by 30 because they have a reason. I told you, Martha, for example, personally, why I built by 30 is as I grew up, I was an orphan. So I kept moving from people's houses, this to that, this to that, this to that, this to that. So I wanted a place where I knew this is mine. Maybe obusikabi bale kati babirekera nze babirekera bakulu bange. So I literally was in the air. JK has a family home where he's building a house, a new house. Jazimbira mama we. So he has a place to go when things go tough. Me, I literally had nowhere to go when things go rough. So I had to build a place where I can be when things are going wrong. That's how I built a house by that. But there are people that literally don't need. And success is different, Martha. I want you to start understanding that the house is not literally success. Some people have a lot of money ngati balina mayumba. Ngaina million nga bitano kwa account na nga talina maka. Ngira bw'ayagala okuzimba ennyumba akwata million 2 n'agizimba in a month n'agiyingira. Okitegeera. Okay, a bigger tire has more area in contact with the ground at any one time than a smaller tire. What does that mean, JK? Marvin says, I had a setback, and actually that's the time I got to know I don't really have friends. Marvin, thank you. That's something I'm trying to tell JK. And JK, I don't know what kind of setbacks you have. Uganda. We have the kind of setbacks that a person in Europe would get depressed and they start using drugs. The kind of setback. I don't know if JK you have gotten to that point. Majority of the time when you get to that point, me, I've had setbacks where omuntu gwe nali njazise ku mmotoka mukubira essimu ne mulengera n'aginyiga bize nga mulaba naye nga tamanyi nti nkola ki nga mulaba n'agitunako bw'ati nga talina kyakola n'aginyiga bize. Those kinds of setbacks. Have you got to the kinds of setbacks where you're calling a friend akuwerezeyo ekyebiri JK? Or you've not? So JK, explain to me what the contact area with the ground means. Hello, my friend. I saw you on TikTok and followed you. YouTube, thank you. I have gained knowledge on low budget cars. I'm glad you have. JK's issue is understandable. Yeah. The bigger the tire contact path to the ground, the more fuel it uses. Thank you, Lions. You have never lacked food. Kati JK bobato ndatuka kwa hiyo point. Notuka ku point. Eyo. Kati autoni namanya mikwano jo mitufu. Okitegeera. Kati abasajja in Uganda, men that have gotten to a point to know that, okay, maybe kati ngono bwagambye ni Champion Morgan, was it Morgan? Marvin wagambye he knew who his friends were. Okitegeera. Nti that's the point that most men in Uganda get to. And majority of men in Uganda get to that point, but now abali mu Uganda one, they get to that point in their 50s. Most of the times, one on 30s, 40s, center abira nazo, agenda ne bachali mu bala ne banywa, okitegeere, de bagenda ku beach ne bachalibe, awo na wona in their 30s and 40s baba ne mikwano mingi. Okitegeera, amanyi we gakendeera, n'emirimu nga gikendedde in their late 40s and 50s. Yes, Ragnar. Tell auntie to give you. I don't know if you get me, JK. Kati most of the men in Uganda, kati mu Uganda, the time where you nze, I lacked food, nenga sentence ina nenga I cannot access it. That time womanyira mikwano jo. nze we nali nkyapangisa nga nalimpangisa kyebando, and literally in my house nga nsobola obeeramu n'abantu 8 nga they are sleeping there nange. There's a time when I was almost at that level. Naye nga nali siri bubi, nalina ebyuma bandi nga weebiri, nga nina ebyuma bya disco weebiri, nga nina emmotoka 2 mu lujja. Naye nga I was cash poor at that moment. At that moment, all the 8 people that were living in my house ne bagenda because I had no food. I had no money. Okitegeera, kati jeke, normally those are the times that you know your friend. Because either mukwano gwa abeera naawe ne muziyiya amagezi agafuna ssente, oba agenda n'abaako kyakuyiiza nga gwe obwongo bwesibye, because at that time obwongo bwali bwesibye nga simanyi kikyenzizaako. Era during that time when neezuulira, abasajja batera okwezuula during those periods. The only trouble is that men we bezuula in your 50s oba oyinza obutasobola kwezuula oba okaddiye. Kati that time your setback ey'amaanyi omusajja kinyuma nnyo n'agifuna in their 20s oba 30s because asobola okuzuukuka. Era abasajja abazze emabega in their 20s and 30s batera okusituka tebadda mabega, because during those times a man knows who his friends are. Normally akizuula nti sirina mikwano n'atandika okwezimba nga aliye kanga emikwano era bw'aba najja agisembeza naye amanya nti at any time these people can go, they are temporary. Okitegeera. So Jeremy is saying, but building for your mom, you're literally building your own, because once your mom passes on, you own back that house. Not necessarily, but a nyumba is like a legacy place. It's your home. So jeke kyakola kye kituufu. Martha agamba Arthur, temujinya people at 30 you at least have a plot, but how will a lady plan with you when you don't even own a plot? Thank you, Martha. Point here, Martha, is understandable. JK, in all honesty, by 30 someone has worked for a minimum of 7 years, because let's say you went to campus, you graduated at 23. Now, if you did a course where you graduate at 25 or 27, that course should be even be giving you more money. Kitegeza by 30 kale baendeka ploti. Okitegeera, Martha kyayogera nakyo kituufu. Kati jeka ayina plots nyingi. Talina nyumba naye ayina plots. Naye buli abasajja nga atuuka emyaka 3 nga mbutuufu azuuka buli kumakya n'agenda n'akola. Naweza emyaka 4 nga talina kyalina nga ne ssente ku account tekuli. Okitegeera? Then such men, Martha bayogerako bayita loss. Era if you're watching this broadcast, you're 30, you don't have a plot, you don't have money on your account, you don't have a car, toyina ezigo gy'abapangisa, toyina nengo yo yambadde enkadde nga Arthur, weetereeze. Okitegeera? Because kale twaligambye agayo oyo engoye ayambala nkadde naye munnange ennyumba gyazimbye tezanyirwako. Gayo oyo kimulemeseza okugula engoye nno yadde akyamalayo kamotoka ke mubayindi. Okitegeera? We should look at things that we know, okay, by 30 nti nawe olinawo kwolina. Okitegeera? Martha kyayogera kituufu bannange, don't ignore her. I totally understand. Ekyamaka kivuddeko nokivaako kati azze ku plot kale beera ne ka plot. Okitegeera? And what she's saying is true. That's why you guys need to understand which sacrifices are you making for the car. Me, even my wife, every time my wife pressures me to complete our home, yet I'm thinking of only investing in land. That does not pressure you. But also, Joseph, I personally think that you should try and, as much as possible, make your home comfortable. Hi, boys. When you make your home comfortable, you will think much better. Okitegeera? You will think, you'll concentrate much better on your investment. Otandika okulowooza ennyo. Ne mukyala we nnyina ajja kulowooza engeri y'okuyambako. What? Good. Proud of you. Okitegeera? So I think, Joseph, you should try at least munda malirizaayo. Oba gikole finishing mbere comfortable ewaka, so that because when you guys are comfortable at home, mujja kuba ne peace nga nyingi. Okitegeera? So me, I'm with your wife. I'm with your wife. With the buli investment jako 10% kimwe ekyo 10 okiteeke ku nyumba, kimwe ekyo 10 okiteeke ku nyumba, kimwe ekyo 10 okiteeke ku nyumba. That's what I do. And I think it helps. It helps. Every change that I put on the house njiraba ng'erina gyekola ki. Ne bw'oteekayo emitwalo 5 n'ogulayo akasawo ka seminti n'ofuna omuzimbi ne weepootera kale bw'oba toyagala kwongeramu ssente nnyingi. Bw'ofunayo emitwalo 10 n'ogulayo ensawo za seminti 2 gye emitwalo 7 n'okwata emitwalo emirala 4 n'ogigattako n'osasula omuzimbi ne poota ne bajja ne bakolako kye bakoze. Okitegeera, by the time the year ends ojja kulanga the difference is big. Okitegeera? So, but you guys, I hope you guys have understood what Martha has said. So back to our topic, guys. If you are a man, that's how majority of women think. You're not going to go kwa no mukazi ngoli 35 nga toyina kyolina. Okitegeera? Nga toyina kyolina. If you're 30, okwana omuwala nga nawe olinga abaana aba 23 nga nawe osula mu muzigo. Nga toyinayo asset naye omukazi gy'atunulako kwatandikira. Because like it or not, our women are supposed to be our support system. Our women are not supposed to work for us. They are supposed to be the support system. So you as a man, before you go to the bond and buy that car at 40 million, at 60 million, at 80 million, think about it. If that car got knocked by a trailer, what would you have? So there are sacrifices you not make for a car. Before you decide modoka eno njagala nnyo project car yange kanjikole bino na biri njiteke million 10, what do you have? Legacy for men is very important, by the way. So before you make those sacrifices for your car, you need to think about the other things as well. Me, as a 23-year-old, it's been a pleasure knowing your channel for growth and development. Zadi. Some men have liquid cash without what Martha is saying. All they need is a wife to motivate them to settle. So no one should be moved to a man has a plot, so he is bright. No, what Martha is saying, I think what Martha is saying, nebo bane sento inokuba mukono obwongo obusobola okumanya nti eno asset. Because you remember when the NRM government took over Stuart, nga bobo ina million emu baddangako zero meka, nga bobo ina million emu gifuuka mitwalo 10, bobo ina million 10 efuuka million emu. You guys remember that? I wasn't alive, I was just told the story. You get it? So cash can lose value, but there are assets that don't lose value. Land doesn't lose value. I can tell you I bought my plot at 10. You cannot get a plot at 10 in my area now. They are 15, 12 to 15. Hi Arthur, do you know some people think creating an apartment of like 800 is like having a house? That's what they think. That's what they think. Because I know my background. Why would you rent a house at 800k? If one of my cousins and people I know is watching and you're renting a house at 800, why would you rent a house at 800k? You get it? Why? That's spoiling money. Go rent a house at 400. Me, I was renting a house at 250. It was 2 bedrooms. It had a bathroom and a garage and a big compound where I could park my 2 cars. And then I started counting. No guy million is buli mwaka. Yet shali wangole yangabo osobola okuzimba ne million 3 bwe naweza million 4. Ningina nenzimba ne nyingira akayumba kange, and I don't regret. I don't. You guys, jeketoseka, I know my background. Kati nze nejenve wafe je tuva n'obwavu obuliyo, muto wange apangise nyumba y'emitwalo 8 ngala chocho kikuba amatama ago. So gakuba n'engabya n'ogabya. Mitwalo 8 kuba kuonoona. Arthur, the places I wanted to stay don't have houses below 800k. Agwe jeke na oli mubede. But now for the guys, comments that Jeke Saga is surprising. Jeke is a mechanical engineer. Jeke is in Denmark. Jeke Denmark ajali akola specialized work beba na bazimbe ezo rig za mafuta ezo mu Atlantic Ocean. Mutegeera naye Jeke tataba obyane mulowooza nti muli ku level ya Jeke. Muwulira. Jeke be bazimbe ezo oil rig ezo muziraba ezibera mu filimu za America. Ezibaletako helicopter. Jeke bye bintu byazimbe Denmark. Kati Jeke bwabanga apangise nyumba ye million ye mutomo epankako. Okitegeera. Jeke ainazi ploti ekira zatayagala kutunda ziri mu milioni zenga 2. Jeke mu muveeko. Jeke ne wane Kampala yali mwavu. Kati mbabulira Jeke mukati abantu abasinga kumwe abalaba channel yange muri mu level yange. Wenabanga ovuga korora abasinga simwe na of course waliwo ababeda abalala nga Vianney. Okitegeera naye kati abalala mwina kubanga mubala nnyo nganze. Okitegeera. Kati koyinza okwagala okume standard ya Jeke nga Jeke jali eri ewaabwe omusala gwa million 18. Okitegeera. Kati nga gwe nga bwasaswa million 1.5 wano buli mwezi tekimumenya. Kati gwe noyagala omwepankeko. Nowadays they make us sign security for at least a year when renting that place. Okiraba. But I don't think it's a bad deal for me at all. It depends on a person. Of course, JK, it depends on a person. So guys, I have to go nyina okuvuga ate ngende mu kibuga 35 kilometers ngende ndaba omuntu wangu getugenda okufunira ku Morocco olwaleero. But men, especially men, this message is for you men. Calculate your sacrifices for the car that you want. Guys, you're 32. Mbuzayo like 10 onve wano. Only 5 likes and I leave this place. As a man, nga Martha Bwabagambi, omusajja aweze emyaka 3 nga toyinaawo asset. A car is not an asset, by the way. A car keeps you money, but it's not an asset. Si assets into gwatoji uteke milioni 3 mbwe nekolera amagoba. It's not. N'abasuubuzi bennyini nnyini tebabagamba naye bakola loss. I've seen traders that make loss. Nga asuubula emmotoka n'alowooza asuubudde n'etuuka n'emusala. So one thing I can tell you as a man, measure or calculate your sacrifices. Yeah, TikTok has actually brought us people. I'm going to keep bringing them. I'm going to tell them. As a man, calculate your sacrifices for the car you want. Don't over-sacrifice. Jeke uyu. Engineer, ile deni mahanga jeke anaye. Nze sengo kujoga kwendiko bannange. Na era goli science mwete mujoga. Namwera kati mutegeera nnyo naye nammwe mwina bya butategeera kati ate nga ffe tubitegeera. Kati ffe okweyagala ffe tukutegeera aba ata. Kati gwe jeke okweyagala tukutegeera. Tomanyi na kwonoona ssente, ffe tumanyi okwonoona ssente nga tuzoonoona butuufu bwazo. Okitegeera? Okitegeera? Kati mwe guy, when you see JK's experience, JK's exposure, buli bwe mumulaba temugira nnyo ne mwepanke nnyo. Okitegeera? Arthur, why is labor too high in UG? Some people quoted to paint my house at 9 million with 2.5 labor fees. It's not actually high. Ennyumba gino gye bakwotize langi nga wa million 7 oba mukaaga eba nnyumba nnene Jeremy. The labor is not high. Normally the way they calculate labor is you calculate all the materials they are going to use and you give them 10 to 15%. At least I know that's how Indians calculate labor for everything, be it electronic work, plumbing and all that. So what you should do is try and calculate that 10 to 15% of the material they are going to use and give them that money. If 10% is 15% is 1.5, you negotiate and give them 1.5. Which again, me, I'm a DIY person and I have some time and I'm not in a hurry, so I'm going to be painting. When married is there are tools you can buy, like a sander. You can buy a sander. You can buy a sprayer. Things that make life easier for you. Why am I doing that? Is because I think because I've been with artists, orchestra directors, orchestra managers, and but they have all those tools. So I'm inclined to do some of these things myself. Specialized, like painting is not specialized. I know how they do. I know how they do. Like they paint, they put what they call undercoat, they put filler, they sand, then they put like 2 coats of the normal paint. That's something that's common sense. Atabana abasinga painting enyumba tebabisoma. They're doing hard labor. They are better kanya. Ate bisere bisinga tebansanyusa ne bibakola kakati nze kambikole nemeko esanyusa. Because I have the time. Like it's a single room, nsobola gisigira like 4 weeks. Ngankolayo one day every week. And so, but Jeremy, just calculate 15, kind of sort about 20%. Ntibezibanga 10 million bawe 2 million. That's the best, the fairest way to do it. Atena bubato yagala bakube. Find a way to make the payment logical. Someone, okay. JK has told me eriwa pepe gundi ya 300%. Nga sijira. JK is saying here labor is 300% of material cost. Yeah, and that's why people do things themselves. But it's easy, JK, when you can buy the tools, because if I buy that sander and I buy the spray painter, I'll use it for like a long time. Which together. Nyiza no kumala okubikozesa lembi tunda. Sente zange nezikomawo. and also it's good exercise for me as a man. When they last time I were plastering my home and I was not here, and they did very small piece of work. So I'm supervising the work. Why don't I just be there and do the work? But anyway, not everyone should do this. This is just me. I bought on loan for Uber as a side hustle, and now the car pays itself. I only gain transport to the main job and simple maintaining. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. It's the reason. Okay, can I get a RAV for 12 million? Also, how can I access your services? You call me Chris, Chiza Chris. I charge for that service. I call that service pre-purchase inspection. And on that service, I come with a mechanic, and we make sure you get a good deal on a car. You can probably even buy it lower than that. You pay us 400,000. Our turnaround time is normally 1 day. Normally in 1 day you get a car. And we explain everything that goes with that car. If you buy a car and it needs some work, I'll tell you need to do this, and then later on in time you will need to do this. Yeah. And you call me and you book an appointment. Tomorrow is Thursday, it's off. Friday might also be off because tomorrow's meetings might actually go up to Friday. So then if you want to buy like a car, it probably has to be Saturday or next week. So but then next week you have to book this week. Yeah. Sometimes I'm really busy that you have to actually book. Yeah. Because I also have to book the mechanic. Yeah, the mechanic are very busy. Mostly with my clients from YouTube. But client banga ba YouTube bamufula busy. Bamanche baagala buli wajja ne balaba video nga kangene nkole kano. You get. Someone told me it's 40% of material cost. No, hayagala kubba. Don't pay more than 20%. And also get, my person is calling now. And also, Jeremy, get quotation from different people. All those guys are doing literally the same thing. I'm telling you. Tebakulima nti paint asinga. Bakola byebimu. Me have tried nova kuono nolowozo no mulungi kuba omulimu gwe yakola walinga mulungi wa era bwajjewuwo kisinzira ku mood. Ugandans are not really professional. It depends on their mood. I have to go, guys. Let me just go through the names. And I can't YouTube ke yakoze kabi. The comments need to go all the way up the screen. Now they are down here, so it makes it hard for me to read the names. Emma, Joseph, Martha, Gaetano, JK, Joseph, Abby, Patrick, Council Wafe. Bana, you guys, if you're in Mbale, Eastern region, tuinayo Council Wafe, your Council Patrick Asiku, you can call me and I give you his number. I recommend him for work. You want agreements and all, Council Patrick can help you. Vianney, he's an electrical engineer. He works with umeme as well. Vianney can help you as well. Chris Da Vinci, Champion Morgan, Vianney, Edrin, Gideon, Zanka, Salmin, Atera, Gerald, October, Jeff, Odong Emma, Brian, Matthias, Marvin, Devo King, Bin Sam, Ram Bin Sam, Senda Ezera, Jeremy, Camaro Consults, Sylvester, Nicholas, Sevulime. Martha, did I talk about you? Of course I did. Why would I not talk about you? Zadie, Stuart, Matthew, Lions team, Caesar Rashid, Chiza Henry Chris. Yeah. Thank you guys for being live. Namwabali Mukamori, I don't take it for granted. I hope your time here has not been spent in vain. I hope you have learned something, because I've learned something. Every time I do this live broadcast, I learn a lot. I'd like to tell you guys that have not followed me on TikTok. I also have a TikTok channel where I put those short videos. It's a little more brutal there because the TikTok people are also brutal. They are not as gentle as the people here on YouTube. And Someone said it's going viral. I think going viral will be having 1 million followers, which I don't think can happen in Uganda. But anyway, thank you very much. I'd like to remind you, I do pre-purchase inspection. If you're going to buy a car and you don't want to buy a bad car, you don't want to buy to get a bad deal, I normally tell you the story of a guy that called me when he was in Machinde. He had already spotted the cars he wanted. They were selling to him a RAV4 at 16. The RAV4 they were selling to him at 16, the value is actually 9. We got him the same, a RAV4 that was better than the one he was buying at 16 at 9 million. So that's how much money you actually get to save if you buy a car with us. The pre-purchase inspection service is not free. We charge 400,000 for it. I come with a mechanic, and that money covers the fuel that drives us to the car. Of course, the car, if you have your own cars, they don't have to go beyond Kampala. If they go beyond Kampala, then we negotiate and you buy some extra fuel for that. But we make sure that you get a car within a day, maximum 2 days, and 2 days happens when you have a budget that is limited. But normally we get a car in 1 day, and you go away driving a car in very good condition. We also make sure that your transfer is done. You pay for the transfer, of course, but we make sure that your transfer gets effected. So far, it's only one transfer that I've not yet effected, but it's because the person that is supposed to help us with the transfer, the person who owns the car legally, is in London, I think, and he doesn't know how to do these things. So I sent him the video, instructional video on how he can get us transfer forms yesterday. So I hope he can actually help us. He had people in Uganda that said they would help him, but they failed him, I think. So I sent him a video to help to guide him, give us the transfer form. Apart from the pre-purchase inspection, I also sell car tracking devices. Your car is an asset, by the way. It keeps your money. So you want to keep it. You can monitor your car in your hands. You can turn off the engine using your mobile phone. You can see where your car has been. You can see the speed it has been moving at and all that. I also sell car alarm systems. I'm also a very efficient marketer. I have to go, guys. I wish you a very nice day. God bless you. See you tomorrow morning. Men and cars still. Ciao.